the Cardinals have an intriguing spot
Yeah.
in the draft. We've talked about this before because to the extent that it goes quarterback, if somebody wants that third quarterback, falls in love with him, whoever he may be, and there's different thought now. Is it Hendon Hooker? Is it Anthony Richardson? Is it no quarterback at all? What do the Cardinals do with that third pick? Because we've pretty much assumed it's going to be Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, 1 and 2. Although who knows? Who knows what the Texans are going to do at number 2? They're not broadcasting their intentions to the world. As we get closer to the draft, expect to hear reports like this. And I think it was Schefter yesterday who said that the Cardinals have received multiple inquiries for the third overall pick. At least 6 teams have inquired. I mean, I would expect it's more than 6. And I understand that in this business, we need headlines and we need something on which people to click. You can't have clickbait unless there's something to click. So every year it's, the team that holds the first overall pick is getting phone calls about possibly trading down. Yes, it happens every year. Yeah, it's part of what these folks do. We were saying earlier, what do the politicians do all day? Well, I can tell you what the GMs do all day. They call all their friends. They call all of the GMs. They have hypothetical conversations. They want to know what's out there. They want to know what it would take. They want to gauge what's there. That doesn't mean they're interested in doing it, but these conversations happen. And the Cardinals, I think, want that out there because they want someone to rise up and make them an offer that they'll pounce on. And they'll slide out of that third spot, and they'll end up with a lot more stuff because they're in the category right now, Chris, where to become a better team, they need more picks.
Yes, right. Give them more options, right? More swings, more cuts at it here to, limit our chances of we got a boom or bust pick right here. And, man, I hope it works. So, yeah, that's what most teams in football want. Most teams believe in their process, and they believe more times they get to, crack away at taking a draft pick that it not only fills more holes with the more draft picks, but, yeah, it doesn't become all about, just one guy. And you said it right. They're sitting pretty. They're sitting pretty in the fact of if a team does want a quarterback and is scared of what the Colts do. And to me, the quarterback thing here, I think Hendon Hooker is worthy of these picks. And I also think that Anthony Richardson is. I would think, though, if there's a team going up there, it would be maybe Anthony Richardson at number 3 to go do that. So, yeah, there's going to be teams that gauge the interest or what the value is to get up there. And then also, Mike, I would think there's a handful or team or two that are maybe going, wait, we need a premier defensive lineman or somebody on the defensive side, right? The kid I look at is the Tyree Wilson, who's clearly the number 1 edge rusher in this draft, or a Jalen Carter type of guy. Those could be 2 guys that teams look at to go, I'm going to trade up to maybe put ourselves in a spot there. But ultimately, I think that's a quarterback type of move. And I think you said the 2 names right. It feels like Levis is falling down. It just has that feel. And again, I'm not trying to, make proclamations, but I just have a hard time thinking everybody doesn't see what I saw when you watch film there. There's just some questions and things that are not tip-top to say, he's a top 3 pick. Richardson, we've discussed a lot. He's special. I think Hooker's damn good too, but I would think that people would call in for Richardson at 3.
And I think part of the psychology that we see play out in real time in the run-up to the draft, some in the media have a higher opinion of someone, and a lot of the teams keep their mouths shut because they want some sucker out there to draft a guy that they wouldn't otherwise take. Because if I'm sitting at 10 and the 9 teams in front of me all take players I don't want, I got the first overall pick in the draft. I got the guy I would have taken if I was sitting at number 1. So, yeah, we don't really like this Levis kid, but let's keep our mouths shut about it because hopefully there's somebody else out there that screws up and takes him and listens to one of the draft experts that is hyping a guy more than they should because they've yet to hear that the teams don't really like the guy. And that's, folks, this time of year, when you hear that a guy is rising or falling, the truth is the media is finally catching up to what the teams have thought all along. So when a guy's rising, that means, holy shit, these teams like this guy a lot more than I thought they did. And when a guy's falling, it's, oh, wow, you know what? We thought they were going to like this guy, but they don't, so he's falling. There's no big risers or fallers. There's just the media catching up to what the teams think.
No, exactly right. I know we're going to talk about my edge rushers there, and we're going to have I think we got that a little later on in the show, and there's some talk about that. But that's a very real prospect or a very real issue. Yeah, the teams that are like outside the top 10 or they love the guys that are getting hype and all of that. And all the highlight shows are talking about this guy. And yeah, they're hoping, like you said, some of those guys, I hope that, the media hype guy goes before. It's one more option for us on the table. Definitely a real possibility. But it's going to be interesting to see with that pick number 3 with the Cardinals. They do need you got a defensive head coach. We know they need front 7 help. They don't really have a big-time marquee player on their front 7. J.J. Watt's gone, right? They traded away Chandler Jones, and what's his name went to Denver? Zach Allen, right? Am I saying that right? Right, on a big contract and joined Sean Payton there. So they got nothing there. So I would think that D-line would certainly be on their radar. And like I said, the kid from Texas Tech is Myles Garrett-ish. And then, of course, Jalen Carter, who I have not studied all the way yet. I don't need to study a whole lot. He's awesome just from when I watch other guys and see him. I go, who the hell is Big 88? Oh, my gosh, look at that guy. So I would think they're on the radar for the Cardinals too, Mike.
And look, the Cardinals basically have the first pick in the draft because it's not like they're going to take one of the 2 quarterbacks. And if it goes quarterback, whoever they would take at number 3 is who they would have taken at number 1. But the question is, can they trade out of that and get more lottery tickets? That's how I think of these picks. I don't want to dehumanize the players, but to understand how this works, they're lottery tickets. Just scratch them off. The more you have, the greater the chance you're going to have a winner. It's what Jimmy Johnson said back when they laid the foundation for a team that won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. Thanks to the Herschel Walker trade, where the Vikings gave up all those picks. The Cowboys scratched enough of them off into winners, developed them. You got to coach them up. You got to turn them into good players. You don't just add water and they become Pro Bowlers. You've got to work with them and draw out of them the greatness that can be there.
Right.
But it's all numbers.
Yeah.
And you look like a great drafter of talent the more draft picks you have, because you're eventually going to have guys, unless you just completely screw it up.
Yeah, but you
in
got
your
more
selection
more
and your
chances.
development, you're
Yeah.
going to have guys that help. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.